Jessica, CEO and founder of Joyfolie. Let's talk about goal setting, and let's talk about making the biggest dreams possible, because that was something for me that drove me to the next level in the business early on. In fact, the first time that we manufactured women's boots, it was in 5 placements in Anthropologie's catalog. And so I just want to talk about what went through my head and how I got there in the first place. And actually, before I operated Joyfolie, I taught college writing, and it was a community college, and a lot of my students came from families where nobody went to school or higher education, and I realized that there was this common thread through most of my students, that they thought about their goals and their future, very aspirationally and very vague. And so one of the things I talked about over and over was, what's the difference between a goal and a wish? Do you know the answer? It's a plan, and creating a plan. And so that was something I built into my curriculum that actually really helped me when I was growing the business, because I would sit down and say, if everything could be just as I imagined and wanted it to be, what would that look like? So first I would do that and then make notes of how big did I want my company to be? Who did I want to sell it to? What did I want to be doing in the day-to-day, and what did I not want to be doing? And I would sit down like at a Starbucks once a month, and I would write all that down. And then from there, I would create a step-by-step way to make that long-term objective a reality. And so I think the key to goal setting really is to just take your goals and put them into manageable steps. So I'm going to use the example of how we got into Anthropologie. So when I was first starting Joyfolie, gosh, we had maybe been in production. We actually, with kids, we weren't even in production yet. It was handmade, but the first manufactured run was coming, and I was thinking, if I could sell this product to any other company out there, what's my big dream? Where would I want it to be? And I loved Anthropologie, and so Anthropologie was who I would hope would pick up our product. So I thought, well, how can I make that dream a reality? And so what I did actually is I just emailed in through the email contact us on the site. I said, hey, where do I send samples? So I took something that maybe could seem like a far out goal, like an unattainable goal, and just took it to the first step. What's the first step? And so I emailed in and I said, where do I send samples? And they gave me an address, but they didn't give me a name. And I thought, well, I don't want to send this so it just ends up on some mailroom shelf, or somebody opens it and just throws it away or takes it home with them. And so I was like, who should I send it to? And I was like, I wonder who the president of the company is. And so I searched that out, and I got the name of this woman, and I packaged up a sample and I sent it to her. And actually right around that time, the business was really hard and the kids are really young, and I was thinking, maybe I'll shelf this idea and revisit full-scale manufacturing when the kids are a little bit older. And the day I was about to resolve myself to that decision, so it was 3 weeks from when I sent a sample to the president of Anthropologie. 3 weeks later, I got an email that they really liked my product and that they wanted me to send additional samples. And anyway, lo and behold, Anthropologie, the first year we were ever in production, picked up our kids line and sold it during holiday, because they don't normally carry kids shoes year round. And then also when we went into women's boots, the very first season we did women's boots, they picked those up too. So it was really empowering to feel like I could create a goal and then create these incremental steps and get there. And so I think in whatever you're thinking about or dreaming about or hoping for, sit down and first do the inventory about why you want that and what that's about. Is it your workflow? Is it financial? And then from there, take it in the first step and do that step, and then take it in the next step, and then before you know it, you're a lot further towards your goal than you thought you could be. A really critical component of operating a business, at least for me, is thinking about priorities. There's so much coming at you every day in terms of opportunity or just sheer workload that it's hard to know what do you focus on and what do you do first. And in fact, I had a mentor of a large marketing firm, a female entrepreneur, and she told me sometimes what you choose not to do is as important as what you choose to do. And so, especially when I get really overwhelmed, it's just a full day, I have this little thing that I do that's really simple, and I start with a blank piece of paper and I draw a little X, kind of like that. And then I have two categories. One is urgent and non-urgent, and the other is important and less important. So like this: urgent, non-urgent, important, less important. And I'll take my to-do list, the thing that's stressing me out, and I'll divide it up into these quadrants. And if it's a really busy day, then you kind of just go, you know what? I'm not even gonna worry about anything other than this today, because that's the kind of day it is. And it kind of gives you peace of mind to say, I've been thinking about this thing and worrying about it, but really it can wait. And so sometimes that's really critical, thinking about what's the biggest and most important thing to do first. Or just thinking in extremes, if I don't get this done today, what happens? That always helps me. The other thing I think is super important is to spend time, weekly or even daily, not working in your business, but on your business. So not just thinking about what do I have to do to keep making business happen, but what am I doing to take the company in the direction I want it to go.